Adeshima ya mamu nyina aju UTV kase ba ya nsaka na de ebramo ya de free Shephouse Abeka Junction Accra na yeto amanemu na enwumakuo bi adaro mo so yasene ya de kase boyi ebramo ebre bia this way chocolate drink enwume de ohia ye nsohye na wanom ama watimi adayie ebia no makwa adwuma wabre ohia bi pa na etimi adwodwo ho ama won so wada fom na ye kan suo dia ye special ice mineral water eno ani isuo ye nom ewo omanyimo ensuo na emienu pe special ice ene wonu aka ye wo special drinks eno so ye anonom de dwumadie bia wodi bia utimi chebi wase esan se wo mo ahyeda to wo nsafra wo mo ewo udwumadie awudie mu no na saidi pan wo mo special ye wo best point savings and loans so phone nie na osikanie sanso ne wo best assurance best pension omu nyina so yasene ama ye de kasebo yi ebremo yenhwe ye edimo akotene ebie
Ghana man perin na Addo dankwa Akosua Addo e de ato bibiman ene abibire matoe emperifo anim se sobi ebedi omampani e wo man bi so na nya abato e na ode ebaya e yade ye chiwade enye eni kwanse bibirim yesoso
board wa wo mo ene eba behwe ntotoye e wo youth employment agency ye womo de ato wo anim se wo mo nya nhyehyɛ papa ebetimi aboa ama emabunu a wo mo nya adwuma nye no so atumi ate
yekwa asante mantema police atsaye sabedie omope driver phobia petrol mususu se omode nioma bi afremu a nyisuma wo hye anye papa no sabre omache baako enkan so adwane a omo ehwehwe omo
National Road Safety Authority womo ne MTTD afa DVLA wonu maka bom akopiem osunyane na ye wo ahyen ahodo bi e wo ho a wo mo de nkane a eni kwan so mo de bo sa aka yi ho e de abobo wonti wo mo tutu firi ho
sanso ne piemu e wo amanone nso a Facebook ets nipa bonifo bi apiemu e wo Sudan na nioma mo di Facebook ye no enye nti o account no sabe omo abrokra na se wo ma enye adwuma
na yekwa Nigeria mining nso a wo mo ede enhyehyeye agu akwemu ama Nigeria Senate no wo mo age atom a we electronic transmission we results ahodo a eba no ama empanimfo kire se wo mo age atom sa
anime yen asin konwade nsabibra medin ade Anim Addo minimini aba
Akosua Sarpong
afi yeran senuma na ye ko Ghana man pen na Addo dankwa Akosua Addo no so na bibiri mato eku ECOWAS no dwomtani na nsema ode ato empani anim dwumadi ekoso man Ghana mu echese enye na ade a emfata kra se obi ebekwa akofro adwa so yo mampani na yanto aba ma na mu mode ne tumi afatuo na obabaye o mampani
ECOWAS mashebedwa no enhye mudie meche ECOWAS parliamentary seminar na ekoso no asemtra edaso ene semfrinhye aduo no 20 years ya yadi kabima minka bi ato abawo ECOWAS aman ahodo mu no de yetimi aye ohawo ene de yebetimi aye aboa dwumadie no ekoso winiba ewo mfimfiri mantemu Ghana mampanyi na Addo dankwa Akosua Addo no ene yotitinani edema ECOWAS ku no wakasa de tudwa kire mu se West Africa na se ebibre aman ahodo wo atoye afamu no omo kam obi ati bi se yanto aba anje wantum se omampanyine na sawudi tuo eba bedi ade a enya ade se ECOWAS ku no ehu se oyo omampanyine ewo oman no so.
I believe we all have a common understanding of the democracy is a universal value which is based essentially on two cardinal principles. Firstly, the direct participation of the people in the election of leaders. And secondly, the maintenance and operation of electoral systems that capture the genuine will of the people. These are two closely related, interknitted principles. With reference to the first principle, the authority of any elected public officer is vested in the people, and this can only be legitimately exercised through free, fair, and credible elections. That is why, having dedicated nearly half a century of my life fighting for the entrenchment of democratic values in Ghana's body politic, the accession to power by any other means other than the ballot box remains for me wholly unacceptable, no matter the ostensible justification. The protocol, quite rightly, frowns on shortcuts to power other than through the ballot box. Those who claim to have solutions to the myriads of problems confronting our countries should convince the population to give them the chance through the ballot box to put their solutions to work.
Ghana abatu abedwekuo no titinani maame Jenmensa ekasai na wochire say
I'm pleased to say that Ghana held an election in December 2020 that proved that the story of elections in our sub-region can indeed be an inspiration. That our story as West African states can be one that brings hope to our youth and light to the coming generations, and that we can provide best practices that the most advanced democracies of the world can learn from. Yes, we can. I humbly refer to Ghana's 2020 elections as historic for the transparency, the credibility, the cost effectiveness, the high turnout, and the peaceful conduct that characterized it. We refer to them as historic also because all our electoral processes and the election itself were conducted in the height of the COVID-19 pandemic without the spread of the virus.
ECOWAS Parliament Achiamehini and Sunsmodi Etujani.
While we condemn the coup in the Republic of Guinea, it is very important that we give serious attention to the new phenomenon of amending the constitution of a state before an election or before the expiration of the tenure of an incumbent president. Amending a constitution to conform to the current realities is not itself a problem. However, when the proposed amendments to the constitution protect the governing elite at the expense of citizens or will undermine the very nature of constitutional democracy, thereby granting the incumbent undue advantage to extend his mandate, then we have a problem. The truth is, this practice is eroding the gains we have made as a community, sinking the region into more chaos and creating a serious reputational risk for ECOWAS as an institution. If we do not take firm and very decisive actions against this ugly trend, ECOWAS will not only be perceived as a body of failed states, but will indeed fail.
Afe yeba enkran mantam haseya na osofo a wono ene hwe apedie so eye onmunyamfo Ignatius bafo ewua na bedwekuo a womo eba behwe ntotoye ewo Youth Employment Agency wode ato wonum anim se womo enhwe na wonye nhyehyɛ papa enu betimi aboa ama emabunu a sesei womo nya adwuma nye na ekosoro no eso ebetimi ate.
Ehwehwemu kyerɛ sɛ Ghana mabunu munya adwuma nyo no ɛyɛ ɔhamu nkyemu du mienu ani akyiriponum ɛyɛ adeɛ bi ha adwene pa na ewumu sɛ aban ahodoro no mo aba no yɛ ɔmafam die so mbɛbɔ adwuma ama mabunu no nya bia yɛ nɛso mo ya na asan akɔ akosi n'akyi wei nenam so ama ɔsoafo hwɛ nnwuma ne apadie so onimunyafo Ignatius bafo awua ɛde ato abedweko a wɔmo ɛde afutuo ba bɛma Youth Employment Agency no anim sɛ ɔmomfa embra papa embra ne ekoye befa so bebo adwuma na enkrofo anya bi aye na ama unemployment no ano abrase ewo oman Ghana mu
de yesra wo mu ne se omo ba no omo nya adwumadene ema unemployment rate no emra fom kura nchensa na so omo be ya adwuma na so omo nya adwuma no enye sabi producer meeting dodo omo beko enye sabi producer programs omo de beba na momu no at the end of the day no ya assess omo the major indicator de be assess omo ne se omoba na unemployment rate ye 4.53 say akoduru say abafom achensa na tese o maya ade na mo mekosoro chensa so de ane na tese sinto modum
abedwaku enipa nkunu ewumu no emu baako ene Dr. Eric Yeboa na smodi etu dwa no ene sombe ye adwumaden amaga na mabunu enye adwuma ye.
On behalf of my colleagues, we accept this challenge and assure you and His Excellency that we are going to work as a team, first of all, and bring our varied experiences across board for the sole purpose of improving the state of employment among the youth in particular, but also across board.
Youth Employment Agency kwanche 4 year lawyer Justin Kodua ono ekasa no che mu se adwuma no enafo monye bete ne so omo ebehwe aye ne se ne sefata abonyuma ama Ghana mabunu no enye bi aye
Ghana de haye o mic ye kesepa ne ye emebunu dwuma esem enti sa dwumadi a minister dia share ye start artisan directorate ye start work abroad no ye start a flashy program no ye make sure say e be shemukina na challenge o dia maye no so in record time e be yi no honya ye adwuma am ye timi achieve target say be ya 12% unemployment rate e Ghana among the youth no ye beto so na emrante no etimenya adwuma
Yetwaso na yeko MPP amanyokuo no mu na yakopiem atoye mantebe ho na delegate conference no ekoso omo eto aba ne no na esikado mrahye bedwani oginama omo orajo gati echese emebunu nhwe yie na amanyose momo mfa ho emfa nkodidi mpanifo ne ade atem esanse bekote wo yachi a amanyokuo ba akomo ano obi se meta wo yachi entina odidi wo yato chese se ba ne sa enya ade a ebeboa eno omo hwe no mu yom ho fi sa de no eba sa ebeboa amanyokuo no atumi anyi
Atoye mantemu NPP amayuko nishie muno ase ena yeni onubonyamfo jogati esikado keten mrahye bedwani ene kane swafo a ohwe keteke akwantuosu edi nkomo na enkomodie mu no ena wo kire yense se woni obi enya adwen anase woni obi ensuaye ewo adebi ho a ne no enche se nipa no eye wotamfo na yedom amayuko ba akode di akwakoye te se abusua no entimrase po wotimi ne wakamye wo amayuko ni mu no omunyimfiri ho no mo na emoa ma envinjia nwotwe 8 years na MPP peso mudi manebro no embrem
Odo ye tase the Democratic Party is them make the fact that MPP in OCP be on chede ye atamfo. So we argue, we disagree, we are but together as one. Hey a common fight. E ko bobo le wa blaster wo ko bobo o yin Ethiopia say wo ko bobo na training we people star players here e be say ya ko bobo. We must not injure ourselves during our training match. Many years or a training match. Yes, we will disagree on principle, on points. A day. But yes, they share one over. It's a free country. Speak your mind, but don't insult people. Don't hurt people.
NPP amayuko ni chocho ni Orua Jomboedu enso kasaye.
There will be a census very soon of all those people in those mining areas that they are displaced as a result of government action to make sure say the environment is kept clean, the mining activities are done using the appropriate methods in engaging in mining. And until mining areas mining areas
Addo danko Akosua no botayan de right from the beginning yema concession yema minerals commission one access yipi wo hu de concession or your concession or mine or do ye wie ni dem a yem hwe de dem concession yam on geologists yam on mining engineers yam on expert ubetum wabo hon why mining 3 if you so yema hon equipment so a ubetum na other dem mining no you so through PMMC no you tun wato gold no wo Ghana here obi an smuggle gold no fanko a refinery ibutum na ya refine yem gold no so e Ghana ye na dem you will create more employment.
Asuyeye a ehwe nsuwansuwa ene ahonidie ho ensem so ahwe ama wonum akabom eye Community Water and Sanitation Agency wo mo akabom ama enedie ewiase nyina da wode asi wo ehwe ensuo ene se ede be wohoro yensa no wo mo ahye ho efa na we no eye Global Hand Washing Day enti nkraimantem ase suku ahodo bi ene mpanimfo eka bi ewom no ene o makabom ahye fa yi.
Global Hand Washing Day eyeda yede esi ho no mo wiase afa na nyina se yemfa nsuo ni semra woro yensa ne yanku enti anyadowa bi etese ayemtuo brane ene konkura na asuyeye ehwe ahonidie ni nsuwensuwa so ene Community Water and Sanitation Agency ne kabo mu ma yedi da no eno ena wosoafo da asuye na no eche Ghana fo se eba be ye aduane anase eba be so aduane mu a yemfa nsuo ni semra enhoro yensa ansa ode adesrede emanyumaku abusuakuo ahodoɔ no sɛ yɛmfa nsuo ne semire nsisi mantwea ne yɛmfa nhoro yɛn nsa ebra no ne bra no
na wɔn adwuma ne nyinaa ne tiawa ne sɛ wɔn ɛne kɔ ahonidie ho titiriw nsa hohoro obiara sɛ yare biara bɛka wɔ a efiri wɔn nsa na aka aduane efiri wɔn nsa na aka nsuo na ɛkɔ wɔn mu sɛ ya na ama wahotɔ ɛnyɛ so a ɛde yare na ɛdoro eti ne nyinaa ne sɛ yɛyɛ dawura ya bɔ as Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources a yɛ agency Community Water and Sanitation Agency no wɔn mo na hwɛ saa nsahohoro ɛne ahonidie so efiada ya World Hand Washing Day sɛ wɔn ne yɛ bɛyɛ nhyehyɛ wei na nanum aka no yɛde ayɛ saa target ya yɛahyɛ sɛ 250,000 kilometers wiasefo nyinaa ɛyɛ no Ghana nso bɛyɛ ne deɛ kilometer bia yɛbɛnante ana yɛbɛtu America ayɛ no 1 bar of soap no yɛde kɔkyɛ onibiefo yɛde kɔkyɛ school bia ɔmo deprived area anaasɛ bibisa eti school no yɛtumi gather yɛnyina egyina ha etu America ne yɛnya 1 box a ne yɛde kɔ school bi sɛ yɛtumi tu America no kɔ animu a wo betu bɛ 20 bi metu bɛ 10 ɔno betu bɛ 50 ɔno betu ɛkambo mo bi na ɛkɔ 1,000 ebenya 1,000 pieces of soap ne nyinaa na ɛde akɔkyekyɛ eti adwumadie a yɛni so as a ministry.
So the essence of the campaign is that for every kilometer you walk or run or push your kiddie stroller, we donate 1 bar of soap to a vulnerable community in Ghana. We are setting the bar high, so we try to achieve 250,000 kilometers, which means 250,000 bars of soap.
Yɛto ansɛm no so ane yɛkɔ asoɛ hwɛ anyinam ahoɔden ensɛm so na dwumadi omudi ɛwɔ nkran a yɛtɔ so enso afi bi omu edi no ɛyɛ Ghana Renewable Energy Fair na ne nyina ne sɛ yɛpɛ kwan foforo a anyinam kane ho ensɛm no ebetumi agina yi no ɛna omudi sɛ adwuma yi ɛwɔ nkran mem nyame yadom a ɛkyena na dwumadi no nyina ebetumi akɔ awie na ne nyina ne sɛ akuku dama omwɔ anyinam ahoɔden ensɛmu aba behia mu ɛde adwene ba bebubom sɛ na ɛbɛya Ghana anyinam ahoɔden ho ensɛm no ebetumi agina yi. I
have no doubt that the successes that the Ghana Renewable Energy Fair has achieved in the past 6 years are as a result of the growing interest to decarbonize our planet and limit global warming to well below the 2 centigrades to up of 1.5 degrees Celsius compared to pre-industrial levels. Today, His Excellency the President of the Republic is the co-chair of the group of eminent advocates of the 2030 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, a role that affirms Ghana's position to promote sustainable energy for our development in the entire world. Ghana is therefore leading the way by promoting the rapid development of renewable energy in our energy generation mix. I think we are blessed with the sun and we must utilize it even more. Our medium to long-term goal is to increase the contribution of renewable energy from the current 120 megawatts installed capacity, representing 2.4% of the generation mix, to more than 1,000 megawatts, thus attaining the minimum, surpassing the minimum 10% contribution from renewable energy in the generation mix by 2030.
Of the Republic of Ghana. And I read, as President, I have shown commitment to the development of renewable and clean energy in the country, as well as globally, spearheading the implementation of the 17 UN SDGs in order to build a fairer, healthier, safer, and more prosperous world for all. I, as co-chair of the group of eminent advocates of the 2030 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, I'm working with my fellow advocates to promote the SDGs as part of an ambitious and transformative global development agenda. We are set to promote the universal character of the SDGs, including their commitment to leave no one behind. We are also to promote the engagement of new stakeholders in the implementation and financing of the SDGs. We are also to encourage partnerships with governments, civil society, and the private sector to share knowledge and resources, and last but not the least, to raise awareness for the integrated nature of the SDGs.
Enhwehwemu amana ba bede dwase nkwanhia bebraya na esi ewo yakwan ne yakwantempon so anadwo no eya na eye enkane ahodo bi a eni kwan se adrobafo ede bobo wonum hyen ho na etimidi sa nkwanhia yi eba eno nti yanam so ama National Road Safety Authority na afei Motor Traffic and Transport Department MTTD wonum ene DVL akabom ama watia simontin so titiru ene sunwane ni nyina ne se adrobafo a wo mkuta hyen a enkane eni kwan se boho na boho no wo mututu ni nyina
akwanhia komunipa wa Ghana ha chen bibia no enti ene mpanifo aye no se eniema hodo a ede akwanhia no ba no mutu so sa MTTD DVLA any Road Safety Authority mpanifo kira no mo se car light bi ho no ma ye ma kwansa hyenkafo mfanye adwuma nenso wono maso ode no ede ye adwuma enti anadwo wona mpeno waso ne light ne gawo na to bi ani wo yo hyenkani na wo ba no anya hwie kakra bi a wo benya akwanhia eno nti na abono mantamonim ahyenkafo maso ode omode sa light no eye adwuma no ya chichi wo mo enam so eme de kwa address fata ebo wo penyina wono na National Road Safety Authority oda no ewo abono mantamonim Oru akwabena ageni mu boaten ekasaye.
Lights now say fog lights no usage near for specific purpose. Ebia ebo aba and I say you to do and I say we should have more enyimi ya to me use lights no we pay no we do. You nyan do on ma. Oma fix it nyina bo mama so na ni nyina esren. Ebi also mo the imported lights are any approved by the authority. To man say we use basic two lamps no any auxiliary lamps na color na say ye fita and I say white or yellow ebi dey blue ebi pink ebi deep red ebi colors you use animal na ye follow prescribed one regulations 65 no some regulations 65 no so validity and as auto some na penalty and as so to be on but yeah no initial enforcement no you person you better you do be a court it is here now can you on prescribed lamps your equipment your spanners pliers screwdrivers the shows what to wade
MTTD kwanchirefo ewo bromantamnim DSP Steven Crying so smode to dwa eni
wiki bia e bekokwan so bia no ne se nya ne bia de ne kokot bia betwe ne de na kokot ye mpenifo kwa de abra ense na otwe bia ne emfa ho returns emra enti no fiti seta no ku bia na MTTD for the time bia bekokwan so bia behwe na ye enforce so amra no na nya exercise a ye ba betena ase because ohwe cars na me akwan so na edoso pa e na omo a omode sa ne mana bobo omo cars mu edoso pa enti e ka se e ba beda e wo ho a e na ya nya ahwe enti we no de bonko enkofo okoko ba fiti ho ko ni nyina size e be ni na behwe na ye de nipa ne bi akokot enti I think say ye de omo kokot dia eno no de e betimi aye deterrent to others sa emra wo ho because amanfo bi ho omo so omo ni but we ni mu mra no kwa na no nchese mra no e ni ho anase se ye de chewo enti no Akosua ya na tutu sa de Africas mu
ye to ansem no so na mu ekopie mu asantimantemu na ya hwe fango ho ensem bebi ya kura fango ne dodo eye boss eye storage ho no ensem aba be pie ho mo de aba betu dwa kire se a police for e pa driver fo bi de dwuma umudi ni se eye fango no mo de ko se petrol se diesel no mo de nwe bi frem na mo de akwa ahyenkafo se omfango omkam ne no na police atanaye ewo kumase hu saade ya omache baako enkafo adwane so no sabre omo hwehwe omo
na wotwe mu ene beto dwa se okopie mu ewo bulk oil storage and transportation mechire boss adwumakuo no nkrabata ewo Kumase ewa santimantema adabafo bi a na omode eye fango edi free enkran eba be pie mu ewo honom omo ehun se da bi adabafo na ye kanana fango na omode free enkran edi ba Kumase no omutimu se ebi omo nam koti kwan so awie bi ena afo omode eniema bi eguma enye fango na omo lodu edi free enkran edi ba no na boss empenyimfo omo Kumase no emre omo hu se da bi o hwe fango na sa adabafo no de be pie mu honom no omo yes omo ye test omo ehwe se so fango a yede ma omo so mumfam free baby ana omo di free omo de ba be pie ma sa na tie no na omo se da bi atija na cha se omo de bibi afra sa fango no enam so ama police for ehwe adabafo a omo nam kwan bone so omo ye sa eniema yi enam so ama managing director edema boss owura Adrian Alfred Provinca abe pie mu ewa santemantema on nsam twerefo atwetwe nkomo a wakyerɛkyerɛ mu kwan kra fa so a saa asɛm no etimisi
ye tinsɛm bi wɔ Accra ye staff na ɛwɔ ha no depot manager ɛna one of the staff ehun sɛ ye products a ye de ma tanker driver for no ɛwɔ Accra no omo bedru Kumase no ye ba be offload product no ye test ye na ye test ye no ye hu sɛ product na ye de ma omo wɔ Accra no enye noa na bedru Kumase ha enti ema ye frɛfrɛ the relevant authorities ema omo be hwɛye na omo gitu mu sɛ product a ye de fi Accra no enye no na ɛbaaye cars a ye involved ne ye enkron 9 driver baako ya arrest no owo police station say and our police for are now investigating no, to find out what really transpired. Assurance a person de Ghana for no say person ye mo mu who say sa products no baako kran call ye tank ni mu a ebeba market ni mu enti ye person Ghana for who say products no ni nyina ya impound cars ni nyina na isifa ako enti emba market nim going forward no so we make sure say nyoma say no entumi nsibiom esi a SSM crofo car SSM crofo nyoma bebre na ye ka amagana for na ye nso enye enunti na ye ejuma no enti ye bebo ejuma na ide aman ye bebo ho ban pa say going forward no nothing like this sort would happen.
Ebusia yanyina we sonye aboafo nkrato adikan emra sisia. Yamamo akwaba afe yeto akase bono eso yeto so ana afimpinu ni aduonu baako ewiase nyina da a wode asi wo ehwe se wobetimi atoto atoyere nkyem na wama no eso atie na afei se esi a watimi ehunu eho brabo no enam so amampanimfo esi enkonwa ahye ho efa a opanyina wono ene da nadbo ano eye na najima prempe wode atoga na de hye nyina anim se ekoba se yi a obehia wonum nyina moa na wode wonti aka bom se de be ya obetimi asi sa enuoma bi etete sa no se ekoba se eba.
The theme for the celebration no and they say enkabomu togetherness was say ekambom na COVID-19 ya ma na ewiase obi gin se obi yo kesichen obi ye ni political party se we NDC we MPP ye ni religion se we ye kremoni we ye Hindu we ye Kristoni ye ni se we wa we sun we ye tintin we wuska COVID-19 ye bae ye sha countries ana manya ye feel say omu wuska pa no omu kura no omu ho kire omu kese bone a ye di asase hwe bola hwe ifi hwe nsu a ye se no hwe galamse ebi di chemical weapons ne niema wo wiase enso asase ahu ye mobo nya sanga wa bue nyina agum dadaada na COVID-19 ye bae de em say ye won kese ene bae se nyina ye mfansu nyansa nti ne dwumadi a ye di ne titiri pa ne se wiase nyina wo se ye kabom disaster na ye fight disaster no obi antimi nya ne de nko a se Ghana ya wo yi se earthquake asemu ya abadendenden a nansane ne kura tremor kakrasi a ye ni abra ye hwe ho ne ma se de beboa ye ade a wo se hu se earthquake si Ghana nya Ghana nko a ebe kwa Burkina be kan kakra ebe kan Togo be kan Benin ebe kan Ivory Coast it is Ivory Coast ne Togo transcase we Ghana for na nya dachi bibisi ebe kan ti de Addo no wose nyina bonus let's put our resources together yenka ye bibia mom ya adwena ye wo ye nyansa ye wo ye nimdia ye wo even sika ye wo kura no wose ye kan bibia ni nyina ye trans ne plan hu se de Addo no obia nya obia ekoba disaster ni nyina hu kwan a ye be fa so na omampanyin so ayade earthquake preparedness plan 1939 and a bigger earthquake see wo Ghana ha we shall recommendation na wom na ensemble na wom na wo see a simulation exercise both full scale and tabletop simulation exercise now over the years so ya anya but aban ba ye bebre omompanya te committee simulation exercise North Dakota National Guide of United States ebe boye omompanya committee ya earthquake preparedness and response plans omompanya sama the budget about mo ye nema bebre a ebe boa na ya transit na ya more simulation ya sensitization over 5 regions Volta region, Greater Accra, Central, Eastern and Western regions are earthquake prone areas regions na fault line in nam kwan be fa so many pe hu even school for nkola nyina obi abe hu se sei ye hu se bibi se ba sei na wo se ye kaneno de nim se nzoto a June July ne nzoto ene June July twem so afekura ne nzo ne tokese de wo mu ni se am pese Ghana 14 sa afi nzo e be to akosisi e di brunya e be to pa nti wo ho no wan hye ne ma yi a eno no broni se climate change adaptation it has come to stay aba ewie mu sakraye no ties ye nyina ekohia wo United Kingdom a ye kodwendwene ho ama sese ye nyina hu se aba ne ya betena ewie mu sakraye na aba nti se de na ye time office nzo beto na sa time nzo beto time office o time we bibi be se nya sa na be ye enima bebre na esesa wo wiase bibi sesa na nso asesa ho bi but the twato kura ne se gise ye nyina wiase nyina ye ka bom ne hu se common responsibility bi da ye nimu a wo se ye build a resilient world eno ene enejuma yidiye
yeto ansem no so na ko asantimantem na menhia government hospital eho ena mpanifo ehwa ya sabie so chese de ekoso no krani edin ma omo pa essence se ma kwa wo so a empom beda so kra edin de baabi a oba akwa wo so no na odafem omo chese we de ano odin ti mpanifo mehwe na omunsie anokwan
menhia aban ayaresabia ayaresabia emfie empinu na wonom epeja won dibremu masese district hospital na meka say apemfo ya ekoho ekowo da bia wanye apemfo kra no aduonum 50 ene ba ho bewo enso mpe wo ho no ma wode hwa apemfo ye dunsia 16 na chese enso kra eno na agina so ama medical superintendent our hospital hono Dr. Kamarudin Koku Hussein ede atudwa ebra na wo kasa ma wo mode aso abofom na wabie ayaresabia no titru bia ya apemfo eko na sa ayaresabia no ntremu a wo ye no otumfo se etua bebio ni foundation na afa Joburg Foundation akabo mu a wode eboa won.
Menchia Hospital is undoubtedly one of the best and well-organized facilities in the region. This facility sees average of 500 clients daily. 200 of those clients are basically maternal health cases. The total deliveries last year, 3,876. Looking at the mid-year figures, we have already done 2,119. In fact, we do averagely 80 deliveries in a week. As we have seen, many of our wives and women sleep on the floor as a result of the congestion. The maternity currently has only 16 beds, and it is our hope to have it expanded to 50-bed capacity to avoid the congestion that is seen day in, day out. It will ensure dignity of our women before, during, and after childbirth.
Deputy Director Ewo Public Health Asante Mantemo has said Dr. Michael Roxane J. Ekasai.
The Regional Health Directorate, we pledge our technical support and to ensure successful completion and operationalization of the facility to impact on the health of women and children within our region and even beyond.
Board Chairman Emma Otunfo say to the second foundation Nana Professor Oheneba Boachi Eje Wahine Otosumienu Enso Kasai.
We've all heard about the population growth in the sub-metro region exceeding 400,000. This is a big group, but the sub-metro has only 2 maternity homes, and this is woefully inadequate considering the high reproductive rate. We heard about the number of births, and now it's exceeding 4,000 annual deliveries, OBGYN surgeries, and postnatal care. This caught the attention of His Royal Majesty and Her Royal Highness, the patrons of the Otumfuo Osei Foundation. It is their directives that we have gathered here today, partnering with Joburg Foundation to respond with action.
Nananom Muslimifo won kabomu kuo ahodo no mekasa na esom no ye wo mu ahodo na abra wo mu ne ensentwerofo hia ye won ensentwerofo hia mu ase no omo kire se saa ensem ababeto apono so a enipa bi ana bekasa nimdifo bi omo wo man mu maku edu enwotwe esigina ye dekrata abasenke be ya LGBTQ edini program hunu bo yede akotom na hyebedwam senke enye mra bi bill na ebetimi aboa na nka esi wonum ekwan no omso omota akire pa na obi bia wonim na obeye na dwen se wokọ akọ ato agu no ene nipa kro no mo ne wo bi ka na ye ka chief imam ankasa ene empanimfo yi wo mu nyina na si nkonwa reference ntwerofo a wo mu ne wo mu ekasae
Mrachibedwafo nwotwe enetintimra akomrachibedwam sempenifo nyintum nanku entia LGBTQ+ fo no na ninada no na Ghana fo bi ekire se eyasempa ebi nsusu da bi eko editia ebi no fa hodie enti Islamic Organization ekweka samankramofo Afrense ntwefo nhyiemu ewo ho enam so amakasamafo de ma National Chief Imam Sheikh Shaibu Aromeyao edi atudwa akire mu se enkramofo nada eteye kire se embrane beji atum esanse gay lesbian ene wonom keka ho ne de eye chiwade anase ye haram ewo nkramofo nhyehyeye ahodo mu.
It is important to note that
Islam as faith and system of life stands diametrically opposed to LGBTQA+ and all its ramifications as damnable, morally objectionable, publicly and socially reprehensible, and above all, a subject of divine reprobation and prohibition, and on a number of grounds. Permit me at this juncture to applaud all the members of Parliament whose courage, high sense of moral decency, commitment to the protection of the family and the family values have inspired public uproar against the proponents of LGBTQA+. We also commend the leadership of the Christian community for strongly coming out against the proponents of the LGBTQA+. So do we want to applaud the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament and his predecessor for speaking out clearly and strongly against the practice. We call on all the eminent professors who have risen against the anti-LGBT bill to reconsider their stance by engaging in serious soul-searching and prayer for God's guidance. While upholding the principles of constitutional democracy and the guarantees for human rights and freedoms, we also believe that perverse freedoms that draw a nation into destruction should be completely outlawed, discouraged, and legally prevented.
Na enkramofo mpanifo abadwumadie no ase no amonso ekasai.
Anything that defines nature, bring about what destruction and curses. And so, as it was abnormal in those world who were promoting it, we cannot do it because we know that the consequence is not good. And Musu Adibaba and say, "Yes, I did no one more man into Mintompo and Nuntina Yenina, Yeta Chief Imamochi."
We'll make a representation, we'll make petition, but at the end of it was going to end up at the Parliament House. It was they who are going to debate and take a decision. I'm appealing to their conscience to look at the Ghanaian society where we truly belong. Most particularly, the Muslim MPs were more elected general in Illa Liabun. Though they are there as representatives of their constituencies, their party, but they are representing Islamic faith. And this is the time to demonstrate that position, that faith, that Islam is against that position being brought to them. The Christians, the Muslims, the traditionalists, all of them have values. The value that we have is that we frown on this what do you call it, lesbianism, and then this gay and what do you call those funny names they are introduced. We frown on them. They must learn to also respect our value. Our value is that we don't tolerate that kind of what do you call in our society.
Enyim pe mu kasebo na yede ebremu ewo UTV so sabre ye twa ho agenkrato aba ye ba ye beto ansem no so edi amamu.
Ebusia ahaya ne de kasebo no esie. Midin e de Akosua Sarpong. Mene
Anim Addo.
Yama mumu ne hwa adehye.